Disclaimer. This video is a re-upload. There were some issues that blocked the video from being shown, so I edited some stuff out. Let's get the video.
Actually, speaking of Dio, have you watched Stone Ocean yet?
No, I haven't.
Then I can't talk about it. The spoilers.
I
I can talk about the stand, but I can't tell you who had stand. But this does appear in Stone Ocean, and its ability. Made in Heaven. Its power is to accelerate time, essentially. So everything around the user basically accelerates. Day becomes night in like 3 seconds. The rate things fall accelerates over time as well. People start to age a little bit faster. Blood dries up faster. You know, it just accelerates time. So I feel like if Dio fought the person has Made in Heaven, I feel like Dio's time-stopping powers. Actually, no, it has been proven because, as we all know, Jojo had the same ability as Dio. He fought the person Made in Heaven. His time-stopping powers was cut in half, basically. So instead of normal 5 seconds or 10 seconds, it dropped down to like 2 or 4. So it speeds up everything. It's pretty broken.
Jesus.
I know.
That power does sound pretty crazy.
Because there's nothing they can do to stop it. I think the user can't even stop that power. I don't think he can.
Okay.
Because I know in the anime they also go back in time as well, because time was reversing, I think, at some point too.
Can they use it to age people?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh wait, you just end the fight immediately.
Because the thing is, outside of the stand user, people see the stand person moving extremely fast. So, like I said, time is accelerated, even to the onlookers. You know, the POV.
Yeah. Okay. Well, damn, I feel like that power is just kind of broken. You feel like you could just end the fight immediately. Just imagine you fight someone just like at the peak of their physical, whatever, and then you start the fight and you're just like, you're 80 now. You're 80 years old now.
But I could be wrong about the aging part, but I know he does accelerate time. I think after part 5, a lot of some of the stand's abilities to become broken. There's a Wonder of You I hear about, and I think part 7 or 8, that's extremely broken. There's the JoJo, and I think JoJo Lion, who's talked about as being broken. So I'm like, there's a lot of broken stands coming up soon.
Right. Going back to the Speed Force, I think that the Speed Force is just a really, really broken power. I don't understand. This is the reason why I'm bringing this up is just because I saw an episode, like one of the newer episodes of Flash, like the live action Flash. And I can't watch the show anymore, bro. I just can't.
I'm dead.
I can't clone himself, but doesn't have Speed Force, can beat him in a fight. It's just ridiculous. Why did Captain Cold last a whole season without getting caught, bro? I don't know.
I feel like time manipulation is just a great ability.
Yeah,
like just affecting time. Like it's nothing you can really counter against, or like you can try to anticipate it, but when it actually happens, you can't do anything against it. Not
exactly. Does it freaking doesn't okay? It's just ridiculous. Being able to stop time or go back in time is just something that I feel like not a lot of characters can beat with their own means unless they have the ability to do the same thing. Because another one, Kame ga Kill. One of my worst. I hate that anime.
I heard the manga's better.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, I can't. I guess it's not fair for me to say I hate the anime in general because the anime was good.
It was.
But I hate the ending.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like the ending.
A lot of people don't like the ending. If you don't know the ending by now, it's whatever. I'm not gonna spoil the ending, but I am gonna spoil one fight. And it's the fight with Akame, and I don't remember her name, but the ice girl, the girl with the
Esdeath.
What is it?
Esdeath.
Esdeath, yeah, Esdeath. That.
Oh,
fight...
I didn't know. That's actually towards the end.
Yeah, it's near the end. It's not the last episode or whatever, but it's near the end. I don't like that fight because Death should have bodied Akame. I'm sorry, she should have died in that fight.
You think she should have died in that fight?
Akame should have died in that fight. She should have died in the first 5 seconds of that fight, but whatever.
First 5? Didn't she use her secret? I haven't watched it. I forgot they named it.
I don't know what the name of that power was, but freaking Akame has a sword that if it cuts you, it's basically over.
Yeah, instant death.
She even mentions, yeah, exactly. She even mentions it like when she cleans the sword that she has to be very careful because if she cuts herself, it's over.
But then like, in that fight, she cuts herself.
She cuts herself in the fight. So stupid, but whatever. Anime bullshit. I'll take it.
You know.
But so she gets stronger. She goes like Kaioken. And she starts destroying Esdeath, and it's like, okay, Esdeath's like, dang, I gotta
use her secret
fight now. I gotta use my secret ability. I forgot what the ability was called, but she freezes time.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah, she's like, I have the ability to use ice. I'm just gonna freeze time. I'm like, I don't know if that's how that works, but okay.
Put it on ice real quick.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, freeze, ice powers, makes sense. Freezes time. And then she's like, well, the fight's over now. I'm just gonna go stab Akame real quick.
Does it?
Shanks her or whatever. And then she's like, it's over. Now time for me to unfreeze time.
But
and
before that happens,
yeah,
she realizes, wait a minute. That's not her.
Dumb. Akame explains, before you froze time, I was moving so fast that I left an after image so that you could attack that instead of me. And I'm like, that's not how after images work.
You know?
It's just not how it works.
There's no way your after image froze in place like that. There's no way. There has to be no way.
It's like, the whole point of an after image is you're moving so fast, you think that you see a whole bunch of either a clone of them or a bunch of them, whatever. Flash does it all the time.
Yeah.
Godspeed does it all the time. Reverse Flash has done it too.
But then
it's just they're moving so fast, you look like there's a bunch of them. But when you stop, exactly.
When you stop time,
when you stop time, the after image goes away.
It shouldn't be there. You know, it wouldn't be there.
Exactly. So no, I that fight should have ended with Esdeath's win. The only reason they didn't give it to her was because the writers didn't want her to have it.
Maybe, yeah, probably. Cause I ain't gonna lie, a lot of people died tonight.
Yeah.
I actually expected her to die. I ain't gonna. When I first saw the fight, I was like, "There's no way she's gonna survive this." Esdeath been hyped up as this OP character right here. There ain't no way. But she dies.
I wanted her to die. I wanted Akame to die in like the first episode. No, I really thought Akame was gonna be a really big part of the story.
She was more of a side character actually.
Dude, she really was. I don't know, like, okay, you know what I compare Akame to? I compare Akame to Black Widow.
Not Black Widow.
Okay, Akame really does have use. She's very useful in a fight. I'm not saying she's useless.
Yeah.
I think Black Widow's kind of useless in a fight. She's able to fight well, but only humans. If she were to fight anything that was superhuman or anything like that, she would get bodied. But and she's a very good, spy, hacker, whatever. But she's definitely not the strongest, or even close to the strongest. I'd even put Hawkeye above her, but that's a talk for another time.
Not Hawkeye.
No, okay. When
actually, no, hold on. We got to discuss this. If anybody thinks that Hawkeye should have died in, was it Endgame? No, Infinity War. Was it Infinity War?
It was Endgame. It was
Endgame. Okay. Leave your thoughts in the comments because I need to know. I feel like Hawkeye definitely should have died.
Dude, let me tell you, I cheered. I was in the movie theater cheering when Black Widow died. Bro.
Yo, this is gonna take it out of context.
Bro. Bro, and let me tell you, it was a sad moment.
Yeah.
I started cheering, and then like 20 other people started cheering.
Not the cheering. That's crazy.
No, I just think that she's just not that useful. And you know what? I feel like Tony Stark sent the 2 useless people in the group to get the Soul Stone on purpose, bro.
I feel like MCU Black Widow is kind of useless, but comics Black Widow is more better than.
Dude, comic Black Widow is amazing. I've seen a few of her chapters, and I think that she has very good character and plot development.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she's more useful in certain situations. Like I said, that she's very smart. She's a good hacker. She gets information. She's a good spy. I watched the Black Widow movie. In that movie, she's got like tons of plot armor, but we'll work with it.
You know, because I know in the comics, and then I saw a video on TikTok displaying like superhero powers or like superhero abilities. Black Widow has some good abilities that was never used in MCU.
Yeah,
I think she has regenerative powers too. So like I think if she fell, she can regenerate from that and like still be alive. But I guess the movie don't want that.
If that's the case, they showed it in the Black Widow movie, because let me tell you, bro, she would have died. She died 20 times in that movie that I counted, because
but kept coming back.
Bro, she was walking out of stuff that I was just like, dude, like none of the Avengers would have walked out of this. Like
exactly. She
definitely still glad that she died though.
Not to died. I
don't like the direction they took Hulk in, but it's all right.
You know, a lot of people haven't, because I just want to know, where are they going to go? I know they're trying to set up these secret wars with gangs and stuff like that. Because I'm waiting for that one movie where Blade can become officially an MCU character now. Because I played the game, what was that game? Ultimate Alliance. I played Ultimate Alliance as a kid. When I said I saw Blade bigger wings all over the place, I was like, wait, Blade? He's not an MC character. But I was wrong. He's an MC character. So I was talking.
There's a couple of characters like that. Like I have family members that watch the old Ghost Rider movies. I watched it myself, but they watched the old Ghost Rider movies and they're like, dude, he's awesome, it's whatever. And then I was like, yeah, he's a Marvel character.
He's a Marvel, yeah.
And they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, yeah, dude, he's a Marvel character.
I'm telling you, old 5 me would not have believed that. Looking at the different movies Nicolas Cage did.
It's just it's so departed from, because I mean back then the big movies that were out were like Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, freaking. Honestly, I think that's all there was from Marvel. And then Ghost Rider.
Well,
and then Blade.
Back then, they weren't really like part of Marvel. They were more like, hey, here's these superheroes. Here's them in the movies, you know? Like, you're just trying to make movies for the sick names, not like for a whole cinematic verse going on.
Yeah, I'm actually missing a lot. There was Blade, Spider-Man, Daredevil.
Daredevil did come out too. What was that one movie? Cause no Iron Man. First Iron Man movie I think was the one that started it. But Hulk had a movie before Iron Man, I believe.
Yes, it did. I think it was called The Incredible Hulk.
Like, it was a one before it, but then another one that made the same title or similar title that they tried to entitle into the whole cinematic universe with Iron Man. Because I think in credits they added him.
Don't they? Because even though the Incredible Hulk movies, I guess, didn't do as well, and they didn't exactly retcon it in the MCU, right? They still mentioned some stuff from there.
I believe so, yeah. I think in one scene, in the Avengers, they mentioned Hangry, I believe, or something like that. One or two. I could be wrong though. But if we're talking about broken powers, we have to talk about all fiction.
All fiction. Kimigawa.
I will not lie to you.
Strong power.
I actually saw the character. I was like, he looks familiar. Because I saw him before. I was like, okay. I heard about his anime before. I was like, okay. Never thought about it. Never cared about it. But when he brought up his power, I was like, oh. I'll look into it.
His power is ridiculous. I wanted to talk about him last because I feel like after talking about his power, like any other power I wrote or thought of, it just doesn't even compare.
Okay. But, we can save him for last. Is there a power that you want to mention before his? Because if we're going to mention his power, because there's other characters similar to him as well. That's what I was going to bring up too.
Okay, well, I have only one other character that could beat Kimigawa in a fight.
Only one
even
character.
With all fiction, I can think of.
Okay.
And he's also a very popular character, so
we
can talk about him. It's alright.
Well, what was the other power you wanted to mention?
Oh, okay. Well, the other person I was gonna mention, which could be Kamigawa in a fight, is
I gotta hear this name.
Saitama.
Saitama. Okay.
Saitama's powers are ridiculous.
Wait. You gotta specify Saitama, because I feel like there's another character named Saitama. But if you're saying popular, the only one I know of, it's One Punch.
We're talking about One Punch. One Punch.
Okay. You know what?
We're talking about the One Punch Man himself.
Before y'all come first in the comments, some of y'all might know who Kamigawa is. The reason why I'm about to laugh at this whole thing he's about to say is there's no way. Please explain to me
how he beats Kamigawa in a fight.
Yes.
All right, so here's the thing, right? So I've been reading the One Punch manga, and Saitama. Okay, so what's been shown in the anime so far is just that Saitama is just so stupidly strong he can one punch anything.
Yeah.
And the only time that he ever doesn't one punch something is just when he's not taking it seriously or whatever, or he just hits something with just what he thought could be strong enough to kill it, but just wasn't at the time. But it's not that he couldn't just one punch it if he wanted to. But in the manga, and this is gonna be in the next season coming up, whenever they actually drop the next season of One Punch. So I'm gonna try not to spoil too much stuff.
Okay.
But of course he's gonna end up fighting Garo.
Of course.
In the fight, so in this fight with Garo has turned into like a complete monster already. We already know that that's where he was going with and joining the Monster Association or whatever. But at some point, Garo does some move that he's able to like teleport around. He's able to like go through these portals that he's able to create, and they're basically he's cutting open reality and hopping through to teleport into another space in reality. And the reason why I'm saying that the Saitama could be Kamigawa in a fight, who's able to just basically make any power like not work or just not exist, is because Saitama is kind of a joke character. You know, Garo was out here teleporting around through these portals, and he physically grabbed the portal. And Garo mentions it's just like he's able to grab temporal rifts, and it's just something that just doesn't you can't do that. He even kicked one portal at him, and I think the reason why Kamigawa just loses this fight is because Saitama has kind of turned into kind of basically like an animated gag character. Like characters like Popeye or like SpongeBob that can just destroy the whole dimension that they live in and just recreate it, or just get incinerated to dust and just not die, you know.
Because
losing fights after I saw that fight, and because he's breaking reality. Like he was breathing in the first season, he gets kicked to the moon and he's holding his breath when he gets stuck on there, and then he jumps back to the earth, and he jumps back to the earth. And I remember watching a video that someone did the calculations of it, but he jumped back to the earth and made it back in like 5 seconds or something like that, and they're just like, he's moving well beyond the speed of light. I was like, okay, that's cool. And he was holding his breath. When he fights Garo, he's fighting on a moon like right next to Jupiter. He's fighting on one of Jupiter's moons, and he's not holding his breath. He's just fighting, and he's just breathing. And I'm just like, wow, okay. He can just live in space now, I guess.
Okay.
And he wasn't fazed about it. And that's why I think just him being able to break the laws of reality makes me think that he's able to, even if he did get his powers taken away by Kamigawa, he could just be like, actually not really, and then he just punches him and it's over again. I feel like, okay, do you watch Dragon Ball? Did you watch the fight?
The Boo fight?
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Okay, did it at some point? Who does Boo turn into a piece of candy?
Well, it depends which Boo and then which time we're talking about. He turns a lot of people into candy. He turned Bombity into candy. He turned Goku's wife into an egg as Super Boo. But I think he turned the rest of the people up on the watchtower into candy after he crushed his egg as his wife.
Yeah.
So which one? Because
when at some point when he fought
Vegeta. He did turn Vegeta into candy as Super Boo.
Yeah, so he turned Vegeta into candy. And do you remember that piece of candy started beating his ass?
The candy did beat his ass. That was the older Dragon Ball Z, not the Dragon Ball Z Kai reboot.
Yeah.
I think in Dragon Ball Kai reboot, they did turn to a candy, I think, but it wasn't as amazing as the older one.
Yeah, and so I'm thinking like if Kumagawa ever did rewrite, One Punch Man Saitama into something just it wasn't able to fight back, I feel like even then he would still somehow find a way to fight back. I don't know. I know it's probably dumb, but yeah, I feel like that's how it would work.
I mean, by that you could be right, because I'm like, maybe they still have the fighting powers, But you did also say that he also know he's a manga character and an anime character, that he's not real. So I'm assuming he also read other works. So I know he read Dragon Ball Z, because Dragon Ball Z been out for a long time. So he probably knows about the Boo fight.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. It'd be a great matchup. It'd be a great matchup.
I mean, yeah. Honestly, if we're talking about him, just like knowledge of all anime/manga that's ever existed, he knows everything. He probably does have a way to beat Saitama. That's why I'm saying like his power is just awesome, just ridiculously overpowered and strong. If he's able to know everyone's weakness or know everyone's just like weakness and powers, then yeah, he just has the ability to counter them. That's why he's just ridiculously strong, and I think he could solo if not like almost every character in every piece of pop culture and anime there is.
I feel like he can't do. There's also other like characters in other like works like in Marvel and DC that are kind of similar to him. I just can't talk about it because I don't remember their names, because that's a lot of them. And also artifacts that are also as strong too, like literally non-living beings that are super strong like that. I just can't name them because I don't know their names right now. Someone probably would know the names in the comic section, probably might mention them in the comic section, but
Honestly, that'd be a good question to ask everyone in the comments. If you don't know Kumagawa, you look it up online, look up his power in more detail if you want, and write another character you think could beat him in a fight.
Because we all know who he can be in the fight. He can beat Goku.
Oh, definitely.
Actually, that might be the next video. We might talk about some characters that can beat Goku, because I can think of at least 5 characters right now that can beat Goku, including Kumagawa.
Definitely something to ask down there, and I'd like to hear some responses about that too, so we can have a little conversation about that.
At least 3 of them aren't even like anime characters. I'll let you know that right now. But we'll stay for the next video. Do you have anything you want to say before we go?
No, honestly, it was nice being in this video. Thank you, and I look forward to being in the next one.
Of course. But as always, love, peace, and positivity.